The hero of today's video is the famous Yakut freestyle wrestler Pavel Pinigin, who performed on major wrestling mats and met with the strongest wrestlers of his generation. During his wrestling career, he conquered all kinds of competitions, championships of the Soviet Union, international tournaments, European and World Championships, as well as the 1976 Olympic Games in Montreal. Pavel Pinigin was born in 1953 in the village of Dyring in Yakutia. He started wrestling in 1964, and since 1966 his mentor was the famous Soviet coach Dmitry Korkin. One of the most memorable moments in the career of the Yakut wrestler occurred after 6 years. In 1972, 19-year-old Pavel Pinigin had a chance to take part in a match between the United States and the Soviet Union in New York. In his weight class on the opposing side was declared three-time champion of the United States, winner of the Pan American Games, world champion and Olympic Games in Munich Dan Gable, the strongest wrestler at that time. Before the fight, Pinigin's teammates told him in a sympathetic voice, "Come on, work as hard as you can." Just as the scoreboard began counting down the seconds, Pinigin jerked his opponent's head downward, the latter almost lost his balance and reflexively straightened up. The Yakutian wrestler, who was expecting such a moment, ducked under his right arm and at the same time tipped his opponent's left leg straight onto his shoulder blades, a clean victory. But, unfortunately, that throw was not counted. The fight continued, ending with the victory of the experienced American. At that time, Pavel Pinigin could not become the champion of various major competitions for quite a long time. He was always taking silver medals. World Cup, World Universiade, Soviet Union Championship, international tournaments in Tbilisi and Tehran. All of them were marked by second places on the podium. But in 1975, he finally wins the gold medal at the Spartakiad of the Peoples of the Soviet Union and begins a great international career. At the 1976 Olympic Games in Montreal, Yakutian Pavel Pinigin won the first bout against two-time World Championship silver medalist Shaban Shidi from Yugoslavia 8-3. In the second round, Pinigin defeated two-time European champion Mehmet Sarah from Turkey 10-3 in a hard-fought bout. The third bout was skipped by the Yakut wrestler as he was free from the bout, and then defeated Mongolian Tsedendambin Netsugror 6-5. But then in the most difficult bout, the Yakutian lost 5-5 to Japanese wrestler Yasuburo Sugawara. Pinigin managed to rehabilitate himself with a resultant victory over little-known to him Rami Miran from Israel. The bout ended early, and the Yakut athlete had one most important fight left, the final with Lloyd Kaiser from the United States. Because of earlier warnings, he had to win with a big lead or put his opponent on his shoulder blades, and he managed to do it, finishing the final fight with the score 12-1. A wrestler from Yakutia, 23-year-old Pavel Pinigin climbed to the top step of the podium at the Olympic Games in Montreal. Answering the question, what feelings overwhelmed him then, Pinigin said, "Winning the Olympics is not just about being the best. Even five-time world champion Ali Aliyev competed at the Olympics 3 times, but did not even become a medalist. A person has 8 sides: God, ancestors, people, training, teachers, attitude, aspiration, and intellect. They, like a globe, form a fortress around you. Only its integrity gives you the opportunity to become an Olympic champion. If you miss a training session, go for a walk or have a drink, There is a hole in the balloon from which weakness and insecurity ooze out. You have to be a warrior, a knight, a patriot. Only then can you rise to the very top. And speaking of his signature technique, he said the following: wrestling without stopping, loading the opponent and applying speed. That's my technique. Quickness of a fighter defeats brute force. A winner should always have a constant attacking style, because the best defense is offense. It doesn't matter if you're losing or winning in the course of the match, you should always go forward. Don't give your opponent a chance to breathe. That's the most correct in air freestyle. That's the winning formula. Four years later, at the 1980 Summer Olympics in Moscow, Pavel Pinigin fought in the weight category up to 74 kilograms. In the first 3 bouts he stifled his opponents, in the 4th he won by points with a big advantage, in the 5th he was disqualified due to passive wrestling, and in the 6th he was stifled by Valentin Raichev. As a result, he remained only in 4th place at this Olympiad. During his career, Pinigin won the following titles: Olympic champion in 1976, 3-time world champion in 1975, 1977 and 1978, 2 World Cup winners in 1976 and 1977, European champion in 1975, silver medalist at the 1972 World Cup, silver medalist at the 1973 World Universiade, champion of the Soviet Union in 1976, silver medalist at the 1974, 1977, 1978 and 1980 Soviet Union Championships, champion at the 1975 Spartakiad of the Peoples of the Soviet Union, silver medalist at the 1979 Spartakiad of the Peoples of the Soviet Union and veteran world champion in 1993.